welcome to another episode of the Chaos Chronicles. I'm Jess, and we are back with Haley.
Hey guys.
We're back for Catching Fire, chapters 19 through 23.
We're finally into part 3.
I know, and we're finally getting to the arena.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're not in the arena yet.
No, not yet. I think I think the very last thing that happened
Did we end with Cinna?
Yes. Cinna was maybe murdered. Definitely beaten. And then she came up through the tunnel and said, "This is no place for a girl on fire."
Yeah, that's where we left off.
Yeah.
And now we are on to part 3, the enemy.
Which enemy? There's so many.
There are so many right now. Oh my gosh. Before we dive into the chapters, though, make sure you're following us on all of our social media platforms. They are linked down below for you guys. All right. Chapter 19. Are you ready?
Let's get into it.
Claudius Templesmith's voice booms. Ladies and gentlemen, let the 75th Hunger Games begin. Katniss knows that this means that she has less than a minute to get her bearings before the gong sounds. She can't think straight, though. Cinna's assault was staged for her, just like Darius's presence. It all worked. She just wants to collapse on her plate, but she owes it to Cinna to be strong. He risked everything undermining President Snow last night. She also owes it to the rebels who were emboldened by Cinna and who might be fighting this very minute to take down the Capitol. She refuses to play the game on the Capitol's terms anymore. This might be her last act of rebellion. So she grits her teeth and takes in her surroundings that she still can't make out. There's water around her. The gold cornucopia is about 40 yards away, and it initially looks to be on a circular island, but then she makes out some thin strips of land that come off it like spokes on a wheel, and between each is water and a pair of tributes. So there must be 12 spokes. The old District 8 tribute Woof.
Is that his name?
Woof.
No way.
W-O-O-F.
Oh, yes.
Woof.
I think I was calling him Woff.
Woff.
Was it W-O-O-F? I guess not.
Maybe it's Woff. I've just been saying Woof.
I'm sure it's Woof.
I have no idea.
Thank you.
Because I don't think they actually say his name in the games. Or the games. The movie. Oh, no.
This might be a struggle.
So the old District 8 tribute, Woof, is the other tribute in her wedge and is on her right. There is a land strip to her left, and beyond the water is greenery. She tries to look for Peeta, but ultimately concludes that he must be blocked by the cornucopia. Water splashes on her, and she can smell and taste the salt. So it's salt water, but at least it seems like it's clean water. There aren't boats or ropes or anything to hold on to, and there's only one way to get to the cornucopia. The gong sounds, and Katniss doesn't even hesitate to dive in to the left. It's a long distance, longer than she's used to, and the waves are more challenging than the quiet lake at home, but she seems light in the water and is able to swim effortlessly and thinks that it might be the salt. There is something to swimming in salt water, though.
Yes.
Than fresh water.
Yeah. It definitely helps keep you more buoyant.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
not a bad thought process there.
Mm-mm.
Maybe not correct, but
maybe not correct in this case.
Yeah.
But I will say it is slightly easier to swim in salt water. Yes. She makes it to the sandy stretch, and there isn't anyone else on her side. She's thinking like a career and wants a weapon. Last year, the supplies were spread out, but this year, everything seems to be at the mouth of the cornucopia, and she can see a golden bow. She's able to grab it and sees movement behind her, and it alerts her that there's someone by. She pulls an arrow and turns. It's Finnick. He is close by with a trident ready to attack and a net in his other hand. He is smiling a little, but he is rigid in anticipation. He is surprised and asks where she learned to swim in 12. She tells him that they have a big bathtub.
Yeah. Sure.
Very big bathtub. And then points out that he must like the arena. They probably built it just for him.
Honestly, the way that they've described the Capitol and the game makers, I would not be surprised because they do love Finnick.
They love Finn. He's probably one of the favorite, if not the favorite, one of the favorites.
Yeah. And he's so cute.
He's so charming.
Yeah.
Just dazzles everyone.
Yeah.
It at least seems to be for him anyway. There are probably very few victors who can swim, and those who couldn't didn't get a chance to learn to swim as there were no pools in the training center. Which kind of sucks.
Yeah, no kidding. I feel like that alone proves that the game makers this year were like, we do not care.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Or don't.
Mainly that one. Yeah.
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 So this arena is giving the District 4 tributes a huge advantage.
Oh, yeah.
The two of them are frozen and stare at each other's weapons, and Finnick finally grins and says it's lucky they're allies. Katniss senses a trap here and wants to shoot an arrow into him, hoping that it gets to him before the trident gets to her. But then she sees a solid gold bangle on his wrist that is patterned with flames. It's Haymitch's bangle.
Thank God he had that. Otherwise, she was going to kill him.
He was about to be a goner.
Yeah, Haymitch knew. He said if she doesn't have an actual sign that he is supposed to be her ally, he will be dead.
She needs help.
Yeah. She has some major trust issues.
Yeah. Yeah. Haymitch gave it to him as a sign for her to trust him. Less a sign and more of an order. Haymitch is like, you didn't pick any, I picked for you. Congrats.
No, she did pick some.
She did. Okay, sorry, my bad. She did pick some.
Maybe not the best options for her survival. Well,
none that he would have immediately picked for her.
Right. I think that Wyrus and Beatty obviously have their strengths. Mags, however,
she knows how to fish.
That's true. Actually, a huge plus in this specific arena.
She can get food.
Yeah, which maybe he knew or didn't know what the arena was going to be. Who knows?
Who knows? That's I'd love to see these books from like Haymitch's perspective, so we can see like the mentor perspective of these, or Peeta's version.
There are so many perspectives that I would love to see this story from.
No. And they would all be so intriguing and feel like a completely different book. That'll never happen.
No.
Sadly.
Yeah.
Anyway. There are footsteps now behind her, and she snaps right, although it does make her angry that he made this arrangement without telling her. It was probably because her and Peeta decided to not have allies, and he decided to choose one for them. Finnick then tells her to duck, and she does, and he throws the trident, and it lands in the District 5 tribute's chest. Finnick then goes and frees the trident and tells her to not trust 1 and 2. She doesn't have time to question this. She frees the sheath of arrows and tells to each take a side of the cornucopia to see what's there. And Abaria and Gloss are just reaching the land strips. Once they're on sand, they'll make it there in no time. Katniss scans the pile. There's nothing but weapons, and Finnick finds the same and tells her to grab what she wants and then go. Katniss takes a shot at Anabaria for getting too close, but she dove back into the water, escaping the arrow. Gloss isn't as quick, and she hits him in the calf as he gets into the water. She grabs an extra bow and a second sheath of arrows and 2 long knives and meets up with Finnick. Finnick then tells her to do something about that and points to Brutus, who is barreling toward them. He has taken off his belt and stretched it out like a shield. Katniss shoots at him, and he's able to block it with the belt. When the belt is punctured, a purple liquid comes out and covers his face. She reloads her bow, and Brutus falls to the ground and rolls into the water. Finnick tells her that they should go. Gloss and Anabaria are now at the cornucopia, and Brutus is within shooting distance, and Kashmir is nearby too. The four careers must have an alliance, and if she was only worrying about herself, she might take them on with Finnick by her. But there's Peeta to consider. He is still on his metal plate. Katniss takes off for him, and Finnick follows without hesitation, as if expecting her to do this very thing. Katniss runs down the sand as close as she can get to him and starts to remove her knives to swim, but Finnick tells her that he will go and get him. Katniss insists, quote, "But Finnick has dropped all of his weapons to the ground. Better not exert yourself, not in your condition." He says and reaches down and pats my abdomen. Oh, right. I'm supposed to be pregnant, I think. While I'm trying to think what that means and how I should act, maybe throw up or something, Finnick has positioned himself at the edge of the water. End quote.
She's like, oh, I forgot that lie was told.
Yeah, I forgot about that
What should I do
little,
about that?
little itty bitty thing.
Yeah. Oh, Peeta.
Just gonna go throw up or something.
I mean, I guess that could work.
Yeah,
Maybe.
He tells her to cover him, and she raises her bow in response to ward off any attackers from the cornucopia, but no one seems interested in pursuing them. The four of them are at the cornucopia, picking over the weapons. Katniss takes a look to the rest of the arena and sees that most of the others are also still trapped on their plate. She then sees Megs. She was on the sand, but then after seeing Katniss, Megs gets in and paddles over to her. Finnick has gotten over to Peeta and is towing him back to Katniss. Peeta isn't resisting at all. She isn't sure what Finnick said or did to convince him. Maybe the bangle or the fact that she was, waiting on the sand for him. Katniss helps get him onto the sand, and Peeta gives her a kiss and greeting and says that they have allies. Katniss adds, just as Haymitch intended, and he asks if they made deals with anyone else. She believes only Megs. Finnick then interjects that he can't leave Megs. She is one of the few people who actually like him.
Aw, I love Megs.
I do too. I don't know if I'm going to make it through this episode without crying.
Yeah, the last chapter. I think it's in the last chapter. Actually, maybe the chapter before that. I don't know. It gets a little dark.
It's in this section.
Yeah, it is definitely this episode because I just read it today.
I'm not ready. Even thinking about it, I'm like starting to tear up. Oh, this isn't going to be good, guys. Katniss has no issue with Megs. Also, her fish hooks are probably their best shot at a meal here. And Peeta assures Finnick that Katniss wanted Megs as an ally the first day. Finnick acknowledges that she has remarkably good judgment and then scoops Megs out of the water with ease. Megs makes a remark about the belt. Turns out that they are flotation devices. You have to propel yourself, but they will keep you afloat. Finnick points to Beetee as an explanation. Beetee is flailing around, but is still able to keep his head above water.
Oh, I just love him and Wyrus.
Oh, they're awesome. Katniss is, and I can just picture Beetee too, just like struggling in the water. This super nerdy guy,
Yeah,
cannot swim at all, trying to figure out how to move in the water.
yeah, but at least he's smart enough to have figured out that it is a flotation device.
Yeah,
he may look a little dumb doing it, but he will make it out.
he'll get out.
Yeah,
He'll do it. Katniss almost asks for Finnick to wait for Beetee and Wyrus, but Beetee is 3 sections over and she can't see Wyrus at all. Also, she doesn't know if she can trust Finnick not to kill them, so she just suggests that they go. She gives Peeta a bow and arrows, And then Megs tugs on her sleeve until she gives her the awl, which is, I was like, what the heck is this awl? AWL. It's a small screwdriver like tool with a needle sharp point. Megs is pleased and places it in her mouth as Finnick hoists her on his back and they take off in the woods. Or jungle, really.
Me and Alex were just talking about this the other day.
Were you?
What makes a jungle a jungle? And we Googled it, and a jungle is not really a scientific term.
Oh.
So it's either a rainforest or like, I don't know what you would call regular woods, but because he called Hawaii the jungle, and I said I don't feel like that's the jungle. There's no monkeys. I'm not sure that that's what makes a jungle, but in my brain it is.
Well, if that's what makes it a jungle, then this is a jungle.
That's true, because they do have some monkeys. Evil ones. Actually, I would argue all monkeys are evil. I do not like monkeys.
I'm not a big fan of monkeys.
They are terrifying.
Yeah.
They move so fast and so freely. I don't like it.
Yeah, that is a very good question, though. What makes a jungle a jungle?
Jungle isn't a real term. So,
Weird.
whatever you decide, I guess.
Well,
Anywho. Sorry to derail.
I'll be contemplating that for a while. To continue, this is not what she knows. The air is hot and heavy with moisture, and she will probably never feel dry here. Peeta leads them through the dense wood and cuts his way through with a long knife. Katniss makes Finnick go next since his hands are full with Megs. They go on for a few miles before Finnick requests to stop and rest. Katniss is pretty sure that it's more for Megs than him. The dense foliage conceals them, but Katniss decides to climb a tree to get a better view of what's going on. The ground around the cornucopia appears to be bleeding. The water is purple. There are bodies lying both on the ground and in the sea. With the distance, though, she can't tell who made it and who is still fighting. Katniss had hoped that they might restrain themselves a little bit at first before they just jumped right into the massacre. They also all knew each other and acted like friends. Quote, I only have one real friend in here, and he isn't from District 4. End quote. She sits in the cool breeze for a minute. She should really just shoot Finnick and get it over with. There is really no future in their alliance. They have this tentative trust because of the bangle, but this could be her only chance to kill him. If she waits, she would only know him more and owe him more, and then decides that this is the time and slides down. It's almost like Finnick can read her mind, because when she gets to the ground, he has his trident in a defensive position.
He already knows.
I'm sure.
I think Haymitch may have warned him.
Yeah, I'm sure Haymitch is like, so she ain't gonna like this.
Yeah. She's probably going to try to kill you. You're going to be her ally anyways.
Yeah. I'm on 276, but I don't know what that means for you.
My chapter starts at 321. So
no.
Yeah.
What's going on down there, Katniss? Have they all joined hands, taken a vow of nonviolence, tossed all the weapons in the sea in defiance of the Capitol? Finnick asks. No, I say. No, Finnick repeats, because whatever happened in the past is in the past, and no one in this arena was a victor by chance. He eyes Peeta for a moment, except maybe Peeta.
And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Points have been made.
Yeah. Finnick knows then what Haymitch and I know about Peeta, being truly deep down better than the rest of us. Finnick took out that tribute from District 5 without blinking an eye. And how long did I take to turn deadly? I shot to kill when I targeted Anabaria and Gloss and Brutus. Peeta would have at least attempted negotiations first. seeing if some wider alliance was possible. But to what end? Finnick's right. I'm right. The people in this arena weren't crowned for their compassion. No, they were not.
No.
Katniss and Finnick continue to size each other up, and Katniss is trying to calculate if she can shoot him before his trident would reach her. Again, I guess. Then Peeta decides to step right in between them and asks how many are dead. Katniss wants him to move, but he stays put until she answers at least 6, but they're still fighting. He tells them that they should keep moving. They need to get water. There has been no trace of fresh water so far, and Finnick says that they will need some soon, as they will need to be hidden when the others come to hunt them tonight. Katniss decides that killing Finnick could be premature. He has been useful and keeps using terms like we and us. He also has Haymitch's approval. Worst case scenario, she can kill him in his sleep. So she lets the moment pass, and so does Finnick. They keep working their way through the forest, and one suggests that they might have better luck on the other side of the hill. And then quote to end the chapter here. But there is no other side. I know this before anyone else, even though I am the furthest from the top. My eye catches on a funny, rippling square hanging like a warped pane of glass in the air. At first, I think that it was a glare from the sun or heat shimmering off the ground, but it's fixed in space, not shifting when I move. And that's when I connect the square with Wyrus and Beatty in the training center and realize what lies before us. My warning cry is just reaching my lips when Peeta's knife swings out to slash away some vines. There is a sharp zapping sound. For an instant, the trees are gone, and I see open space over a short stretch of bare earth. And then Peeta's flung back from the force field, bringing Finnick and Megs to the ground. I rush over to where he lies, motionless in a web of vines. Peeta, there's a faint smell of singed hair. I call his name again, giving him a little shake, but he's unresponsive. My fingers fumble across his lips, where there is no warm breath, although moments ago he was panting. I press my ear against his chest to the spot where I always rest my head, where I know I will hear the strong and steady beat of his heart. Instead, I find silence. Not good.
That is not good.
Mm-mm.
Get the defibrillator. Get the AED.
You, go grab the AED and come back. I might need help.
And you, call 911.
Oh, those videos are forever ingrained in my head. Because I taught BLS and ACLS for a while.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. As a paramedic, yeah.
And I can't even tell you how many times I've had to take those classes myself. So
I hated the ACLS class. When they asked me to try to read the monitor, like, listen, I do whatever the doctor tells me to do, and I will hand you the medication. I do not diagnose. I don't need to know how to read that. If I am reading that, things have gone way wrong.
Way south. Yeah. Haley's a pharmacist, if
yes,
we haven't said on here.
A pharmacist that cannot read the monitor. Please don't ask me to do that.
You know, most people can't. I get a lot of nurses can't even read EKGs. A lot can. I'm sorry. Like critical care nurses can.
Yeah.
But it's not.
I mean, most patients in the hospital aren't on telemetry, so.
No, which shocks me because I threw basically everyone on the monitor. I'm like, and you get a 4 lead, and you get a 4 lead. Yeah. Everyone is on my monitor.
Yeah.
So I loved reading EKGs.
I look at it. If I can tell something is wrong, either 1, they're dead. 2, it's not working correctly. Or 3, they have torsades.
That is a good one for you to know.
Yeah. And that's all I got.
Yeah.
Or it's normal.
I mean, that's fair.
I think I could tell normal.
Yeah.
I say that. Probably not. Let me take that one back, actually. Anywho, we've gone way past.
We are way in the weeds now. Yeah, so PETA's heart stopped.
Right. Not good.
Or at least is not working properly enough for Katniss to be able to hear it.
Yeah.
Might still be there, but maybe.
Maybe. Things are not looking good. And also, I was going to say she can't hear, but they did fix her ear.
They did fix her ear.
Yeah.
Yep. They did. He did. Yeah, that was 19.
Yeah. Our first intro into the games. People are already dead. PETA's already tried to get himself killed. No surprise there. He's so good at that.
Yeah, it's what he does best.
I think that's really how they make it through the games, is that they can't be too worried about other people because PETA is always off trying to murder himself. The berries first. Now he's running into this wall.
Picking poison berries.
Yeah.
Gets electrocuted.
Yeah.
He's having a tough go of it.
Yeah. Poor guy.
Yeah. Chapter 20.
Let's go.
Katniss yells for PETA, shakes him, even slaps him, but there's nothing. His heart has failed. Finnick sets Megs against the tree and pushes Katniss away, feeling for PETA's pulse. He then pinches his nose shut, and Katniss screams and lunges for him, assuming Finnick intends to keep PETA dead. But Finnick hits her hard in the chest and she flies back into a tree. She is stunned, then can see him pinch his nose again. Katniss grabs her bow and readies an arrow, and then sees Finnick kissing PETA. Wait, he's not kissing him. He's blowing air into his lungs. PETA's chest is rising and falling. Finnick then unzips PETA's jumpsuit and starts pumping over his heart with the heel of his hand. She realizes what he's trying to do. She occasionally saw her mother do this, but not often. If this happens in 12, it was unlikely anyone would get them to her mother in time. But things must have been different for Finnick, and it's clear that he has done this before. Which makes me wonder, like, what scenario would Finnick have to do this? Other than, like, accidental drownings.
That's what my assumption was, because he does come from 4 where they have a lot of water. But I don't know. I mean, he wouldn't have done it in the games.
No. I don't know. I'm just like, I'm on Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes right now, and so I'm just like questioning everything that Snow does. I'm like, is it something with him? Maybe I'm just like too deep in the weeds right now. I'll take myself out. It's fine. After a few minutes, PETA gives a cough and Finnick sits back. She flings herself on PETA and brushes his hair and then feels for his pulse. His eyes open and he warns her to be careful. There's a force field ahead. He's okay though, just shaken.
PETA.
Katniss laughs, but starts crying as well. She bursts out that he was dead and his heart stopped, and then has to stop talking because she is starting to make choking sounds from crying. He assures her it's all right. It seems to be working now. PETA is now worried about Katniss, but Finnick answers for her that she is just fine, just all of her hormones from the baby. Just all those extra hormones.
I mean, if that were true, yeah, great. I mean, good reasoning there.
Katniss starts to respond that it's not, but then starts crying even harder, which only proves his point. Which also, like, jokes aside, this just shows you how much she cares about PETA.
Oh, yeah, definitely. She was heartbroken.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, we're probably like 20, 30 minutes into the games, and she already thought that PETA was dead.
Yeah.
And her one goal of the games is to get him out alive.
Yeah, that's her only... Mm-hmm. She's ready to die herself because she's like, this boy needs to stay alive.
Yeah. And she called him her friend. I mean, Let's give her a round of applause because the
Oh,
turnaround from the start of last games is crazy.
he's gonna kill me.
Yep.
He's my enemy. We
Mm-hmm.
hate each other.
Yeah.
All she wanted was to keep PETA alive. She couldn't, but Finnick could. She should be grateful, and she is, but she's also furious because she will forever owe Finnick. How can she kill him now?
That's good. He secured his place.
Quote, I expected to see a smug or sarcastic expression on his face, but his look is strangely quizzical. He glances between PETA and me, as if trying to figure something out, then gives his head a slight shake, as if to clear it. End quote.
My assumption is that he's like, I did not think that this whole thing between you two was real. This might be real. I'm guessing that's what
So shocking.
he's thinking there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He asks PETA how he is and if he's good to move on. Katniss butts in that he has to rest, and Megs gives Katniss some moss to blow her nose and wipe her tears away, and Katniss doesn't even question it. She then notices gold on PETA's chest. There is a necklace with a disc at the end with a mockingjay engraved on it. This is his token. He wanted them to match with the mockingjays. Finnick interrupts and asks if they should make camp here, but PETA doesn't think it's a good idea since they don't have any water or protection, and he will be able to go slowly. Finnick agrees slow would be better than not at all, and he helps him up, and Katniss reflects on her day. Cinna was beaten. She's in another arena, and she's watched PETA die. She is thankful that Finnick keeps bringing up the pregnancy thing for her sponsor's sake. Katniss tells them that she will take the lead, and when PETA starts to object, Finnick tells him to let her. She somehow knew that there was a force field there and wonders how she knew. Katniss doesn't want to reveal how she actually knew this. She has a valuable piece of information, and if the game makers find out, they could maybe do something to alter the force field so she won't be able to see it. Katniss decides on telling him that she's not sure, it's like she could hear it or something. They all fall silent. None of them hear anything, but Katniss plays it up that they must have done too good a job when they fixed her ears after the last games. Megs then nudges her forward to take the lead, and then, since they're moving slow, Finnick makes a cane for her to use since she prefers to walk. He also makes one for PETA, which he initially protests, but probably needs. Katniss walks with the force field to her left to keep the lie going, but she decides to cut down a branch of nuts hanging from the tree and tosses them ahead of her. When the nut hits, there's a puff of smoke, and then the nuts are blackened and cracked. After a few minutes, she turns to see Meg grabbing the nuts and popping them into her mouth. Katniss cries out that it could be poisonous and she needs to spit it out. She just mumbles something and licks her lips and goes on ignoring her. Finnick laughs. Guess they'll find out. They continue on, and she wonders about Finnick and why he would let her eat strange nuts. Why does he get Haymitch's seal of approval? Why did he bring PETA back? Why didn't he just let him die? What reason did he have to save PETA? And why was he so determined to team up with her? Also willing to kill her if it came to it, but leaving that choice to her. It is very strange if you look at it from her perspective.
Oh, yes. I would be so confused.
What is up with this?
And I definitely wouldn't trust him.
No.
And I would definitely think he was trying to get in so he could kill me.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that she keeps thinking about how she's going to murder this boy.
No, because he's so charming, so good with words, very charismatic, and he just saved PETA.
Pretty much twice.
Yeah.
PETA wasn't going to make it off of that on his own.
Definitely not. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be confused,
Yeah.
but
They walk for another hour or so, but they don't seem to be making any progress, and the force field just seems to keep curving. She sees Meg's limping, and Peta's face is covered in sweat and suggests that they take a break so she can get a look from above. She climbs up a tree and can see the whole arena from there. It's a perfect circle, and she confirms her suspicion as she shoots an arrow into the sky and watches the force field react. She goes back down to tell the others of her findings and that she didn't see any signs of fresh water, but the foliage is so thick that there might be something somewhere. PETA insists that there has to be drinkable water somewhere, and since there's nothing over the hill, they need to start heading back down. By mid afternoon, they need to stop as PETA and Megs can't continue. Finnick starts to make a campsite just below the force field and tells her that they can use it as a weapon if enemies come to attack. Finnick and Megs then start to make some mats out of high, sharp grass, and since Meg seems to be fine from the nuts, PETA grabs a bunch of them and fries them with the force field and then peels them and piles them on a leaf. She is so thirsty, she asks Finnick to stand guard and she'll go look for water. PETA wants to go with her, but she tells him to stay as she'll also try to hunt and he will scare off the game, but assures him that she won't be long. She takes off and is stopped by the cannon fire. The bloodbath must be over now. There are 8 shots. Not as many as last year, but it seems like more since she knew most of them. She finds nothing. She even tries to rub her hands across her belly to get a sympathetic sponsor and for Hamish to send some water, but no luck. On her way back, she kills some big rodent, and as she's cleaning it, she notices that its mouth is wet, so it's been drinking recently. She gets excited. There must be a water source nearby. She searches but finds nothing, so then heads back before PETA starts worrying. When she gets back, Megs and Finnick have created a 3-sided hut out of grass mats, and it also has a roof. How cool.
they just crafted that up out of nowhere. Definitely the allies I would want in these games.
Absolutely. Be like, I was gone hunting, and I come back and you already have a shelter?
Yeah.
A legitimate shelter.
Yeah. Very different from her first Hunger Games.
Oh, yeah.
She was on her own. She's walking away from everybody. All she has is a little sleeping bag. Thank God she can climb a tree.
And a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. The tree was the most important part of her survival.
Yep.
Let's be honest
Yeah.
here. Megs also made several bowls that PETA filled with roasted nuts. I don't even know how you do this.
This is better eating than she was doing in District 12.
Honestly, yeah, they're having a feast.
Mm-hmm.
They also turn to her hopefully, but she shakes her head and shows the kill. She also tells them that he was drinking recently when she shot him out of the tree but couldn't find anything. She isn't sure if he's safe to eat. The meat doesn't look too different than the squirrel, but he should really be cooked. They don't know if they can start a fire with how damp everything is, and even if they could, they probably shouldn't. PETA comes up with a plan, though, and skewers the creature and tosses him into the force field, and it comes back to them well cooked. They all start to applaud him, but then remember where they are, and then they stop.
How nice, though, that they're so comfortable that they forget they're even in the games.
They have a slight moment of normalcy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I also love that they took Hamish's whole using
The force field.
the force field and all the aspects of the arena to their advantage. I love that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, you gotta think outside the box, especially when you're in a scenario like this.
Yep.
Gotta get creative. Katniss still didn't want to eat the nuts, but Finnick assures her that Megs recognized them from another games, and since she seems fine, she grabs one and eats it. Finnick asks a bunch of questions about the rodent, and they decide to call it a tree rat. Then night comes. Peta slips his hand into hers. They all know what's coming. The anthem plays, and the first to appear in the sky is the man from 5 that Finnick took out, which means the 4 careers are still alive. And then Beatty and Wyrus, and then obviously Finnick and Megs are alive. The male from District 6 appears next, followed by Cecilia and Wolf from 8, both from 9, the woman from 10, and Cedar from 11. The sky goes dark and no one speaks. The silence is broken up by the arrival of a silver parachute. They don't know who it's for, but Finnick suggests Peta open it since he died today. That seems fair.
Yeah, I like his reasoning.
You've had the hardest day so far, so take it.
Yeah.
Peta opens it, but he's not sure what it is, and neither does anyone else. It's a hollow metal tube. One end is slightly tapered, and the other has a lip that curves down. Katniss finds it familiar, but isn't sure, and none of them are sure of whatever they're looking at. She knows it has to be valuable and life-saving if Haymitch sent it, but she gets so frustrated she gives up and jams it into the dirt. She is so hot. It hasn't cooled any since the sun has been down, and she thinks of home and the woods with food, streams, and a cool breeze. Then it hits her. It's a spile. She's seen one before and used one with her father to get maple syrup. He had a handful of spiles before he died. She and Peta briefly explain what it is to Finnick as they get to a tree. Finnick wants to hammer it into the tree, but she stops him. They have to drill a hole first. They don't have one, but Megs offers up her all, and Peta and Finnick go to work. They get it wedged in, and eventually a drop of water lands on Meg's hands. She licks it off and waits for more. Then a thin stream begins. They all take turns holding their mouths under the water, and Megs brings a basket over that she made, and since it was so tightly woven, it's holding the water. This lady,
I know.
incredible.
It's probably looks like my blanket right now.
Yeah, Haley's crocheting a blanket, and her tension is so
It's a
tight.
little tight.
It is so tight, which is not a bad thing. It's going to be an amazing blanket, but oh boy, is it tight.
I just don't know how Mags fixed that up so quickly.
It's easy for her.
She's magic. I love her.
I see Megs as being like a lady who just like weaves or crochets or knits all day long.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess with grass.
With grass.
Yeah. She's a grass weaver.
I wonder if that's a part of their do you think that they have to learn how to weave and make baskets for like the fish?
I'm sure they do for fishing supplies.
Yeah.
But you would think that they would give that to them. Maybe I have too high of hopes. I don't know.
Capital.
Yeah. And they're just the lowly peasants of the districts. So.
They're not even people, Haley.
Yeah, I forget.
What are you talking about?
You're right.
Yeah.
Let me go back. That was dumb.
They're not even people. You should know this by now. Come on. We're into book 2. We're almost done with book 2.
I've learned nothing.
They fill the basket and then take turns gulping it down. Once their thirst is quenched, they prepare for bed. Katniss doesn't have anything other than her weapons, so it isn't too hard, but goes to grab the spile out of the tree and grabs some vines to attach it to her belt. Finnick offers to take the first watch, and she lets him and tells him to wake her when he is tired. She lays down next to Peta and is woken up in a few hours by a bell. Peta and Meg sleeps through it. I don't know how people do that. Even you're in an arena and you're sleeping through a noise.
Yeah, I think I would really struggle to sleep at all, and then eventually I would fall asleep, and that's the state of sleep I'd be in, and someone would probably kill me.
Yeah. I could see Peta sleeping through it because presumably went into cardiac arrest. His body
That's
is
true.
put in him. Like, you
Yeah.
need to rest, dude.
I thought you were going to go more along the lines of he's so protected and safe that he just is so sleepy.
He knows he's protected.
But he is, so.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm also such a light sleeper that, like, I can't relate.
I am not, so.
You're not a light sleeper?
No. Who knows what my cat gets up to at night when I'm asleep? My theory is she's running on top of me. She's doing who knows what.
Yeah, Mitch is a very heavy sleeper.
Yeah. It annoys Alex. Like, I'm sure it annoys you.
It annoys me too. Peta and Meg sleep through this bell that's going on, but both Katniss and Finnick are alert. They counted 12, and then a bolt of lightning strikes a tree, and a lightning storm begins. But what does it mean? They wait for some kind of announcement, but nothing comes. Katniss tells Finnick to go get some rest. It's her turn to watch, and after hesitating, he finally agrees. Katniss sits with her bow loaded and watches the jungle. After an hour or so, the lightning stops, and she can hear the rain starting in the distance, but it never comes to them. There is a cannon which startles just Katniss, and she tells herself that there's no need to wake them. She just wonders who it was. The rain then stops immediately, and then seconds later, there is fog coming in from the direction of the downpour. I didn't realize this was going to start this quick.
I didn't either.
Katniss tells herself that it's just a reaction from the rain cooling the ground, but it keeps approaching, and she suddenly realizes that there's something wrong with this. It's not natural. Quote, a sickeningly sweet odor begins to invade my nostrils, and I reach out for the others, shouting for them to wake up. In the few seconds it takes to rouse them, I begin to blister. End quote. End of chapter 20. Okay, so I guess the rough, brutal chapter is going to be chapter 21, guys.
Yeah. I thought it was later than that.
I did too. Deep breaths. So sad.
We can get through this. Doesn't help that we're tired.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. Guys, we're not late night people.
No, not by any means.
Not even a little bit.
Mm-mm.
And it is currently 11:20 p.m.
Yes. And I was up at 5 a.m., I think, for work.
I woke up today at 6. Yeah.
Ready to do it again tomorrow.
Okay. We're delaying the inevitable.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Deep breaths. Get your tissues ready. We have our tissues right here.
They may be needed on this one.
They might be. At some point, I might just chuck my laptop over to you and be like, I need a break.
You read.
Some mist droplets reach Katniss's skin and immediately burn. She yells for them all to run. Finnick is up immediately and tosses Megs, who is still sleeping, on his back. Peta is up but not alert. Katniss grabs his arm and moves him through the jungle. She tells them that it's some kind of poisonous gas and urges Peta to hurry. But it's clear that hitting the force field had a bigger toll on him than he let on, and he can't go any faster. The vines also trip him about every step. Katniss pushes her urges to leave Peta away because Peta is the goal. So she locks her fingers in his and tells him to step where she is, and this seems to help. But even still, the droplets start to creep on their heels. Finnick then realizes that they're having issues and yells encouragement to get them moving. Peta's prosthetic foot trips on foliage, and then he flies forward before Katniss can catch him. Yeah, just a reminder here, guys. Peta lost a leg.
I forgot that so many times reading this book, and then out of nowhere, they would say something about his prosthetic leg. Like, I forgot that detail.
Yeah, he lost a leg, guys. They definitely left that out of the movies.
Maybe for good reason. That'd be a hard one to keep up with.
Yeah. Yeah. How
And it
do
doesn't
you?
really add that much.
No, not really. It just, yeah, just one of those minor detail things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be a big deal if the Capitol couldn't give him a prosthetic, but
She helps him up, but then notices something worse than just the pain. The whole left side of Peta's face has drooped downward. This fog targets nerves, it doesn't just burn. She yanks him forward, and by the time he's on his feet, her arms are uncontrollably twitching, and Peta's legs are now. Peta's. I said legs, but it's definitely leg.
leg. Only one of those have the capability to twitch.
Yeah, so his leg is spasming, and he can no longer walk. Finnick came back for them and tries to get Peta along. Eventually, he realizes that this won't work and says he can carry him and asks if Katniss can carry Megs. Katniss agrees, but her heart sinks. She has carried heavier than Megs. She can only be about 70 pounds, but her arms are so twitchy. She gets Megs on her back, and Finnick takes Peta, and they're off. The fog is still coming for them, and Finnick is leading them toward the water, but Katniss starts to fall due to her leg going stiff. The first 2 times she can get up is no issue. The third, she has to use a vine to get back up. Katniss asks if he can carry both. He can't. His arms are also not working, and she sees his arms are also twitching. To prove his point, Peta is holding his last trident. Quote, "I'm sorry, Megs. I can't do it." I don't want to read this. What happens next is so fast, so senseless. I can't even move to stop it. Megs hauls herself up, plants a kiss on Finnick's lips, and then hobbles straight into the fog. Immediately, her body is seized by wild contortions, and she falls to the ground in a horrible dance. I want to scream, but my throat is on fire. I take one futile step in her direction. When I hear the cannon blast, I know that her heart has stopped, that she is dead. Finnick. End quote.
You did it.
Okay, yeah, we got through it. So Finnick has already turned from the scene and continued to retreat, so Katniss follows after him, dragging her leg behind her. Katniss follows Finnick until he collapses to the ground with Peta on top of him. Katniss eventually trips over them and also falls to the ground and thinks this is where and how they die. Finnick groans and she slowly gets off of them. The wall of fog is more of a white quality and is becoming thicker, almost appearing to be pressed against glass. After closer inspection, it looks that it has reached the end of its territory, or the game makers have decided to not kill them yet. Katniss tells them that it's stopped and it is vacuumed into the sky. Peta rolls off Finnick, and they all lie on the ground, gasping for air and twitching. After a few minutes, Peta gestures upward. There are a pair of monkeys with orange fur, and they're about half the size of a person. They all start slowly crawling on the beach, and then finally the water. The water feels like she's touching an open flame due to the salt water, but she notices that there's a milky substance coming out of the wounds. As the substance goes away, the pain does as well. Katniss takes off her belt and jumpsuit and soaks in the water. Peta looks to be doing the same, and Finnick is still away from the water, either unwilling or unable to get there. She finishes purging by opening her eyes underwater, then snorting and gargling the water. Which, well, that's salt water.
I could do the gurgling, snorting, salt water, pass. That sounds like it would burn.
I just,
You don't like salt water?
makes me want to puke.
I think it tastes kind of good,
Especially when you have a Jolly Rancher in your mouth.
especially when you have a Jolly Rancher in your mouth.
Yeah, guys, we got a pro tip. If you're going swimming in the ocean, get a Jolly Rancher in your mouth, and it at least it helps me with like the nausea of the salt water.
But
Or
I think that it tastes even better with the salt water because then you get a little sweet and a little salty at the same time. Either way, it's good for you. I'm not recommending that you drink the salt water, but a little,
but if you do,
if you do happen to get a little, just try it maybe. It's not bad.
just a little treat.
Yeah.
So now Katniss is functional enough to help Finnick. She can't drag him, so she tries to bring water to him. Peeta eventually comes over with some shell that works better and works on his arms first since they're in the worst shape. Finnick just lies there and occasionally lets out a moan. She knows they're in a vulnerable position being on the beach, and her and Peeta each take one of Finnick's feet and drag him into the water. They eventually get him in and work on detoxifying him, and she notices the longer that she's in the water, the better she feels and the better she can function. Peeta's face is also slowly improving, and Finnick starts to rise a little. After about 10 minutes, Peeta tells Finnick that it's just his head left, which is the worst part, but he will feel so much better after. They help him sit up, and he dunks his head. Katniss grabs the spile and says that she will go try to tap a tree. Peeta tells her to stay with Finnick since she's the healer and he will go make the hole first. She doesn't fully understand why Finnick got the worst of the fog. Maybe it's because he exerted himself more. She then thinks to Mags and what happened. He abandoned her to carry Peeta, and she didn't question it at all and immediately went to her death. She knows now isn't the time to ask Finnick. She puts herself back together as Peeta uses his knife in the trunk. The awl is gone, so they have to make do without it. Finnick slowly starts moving in the water and then gets faster. At one point, he is underwater so long that she is certain that he has drowned, but then he pops up next to her. She tells him to not do that, and Finnick asks for clarity, the coming up part or the staying under part. Katniss gets flustered and tells him to just soak and behave, or if he feels better, they should go help Peeta. On their way back to the jungle, Katniss notices a change. There are monkeys everywhere above them. She's not sure when they all surrounded them.
I hate monkeys.
Going back to our earlier conversation.
Yeah, this is my worst nightmare. Maybe not the worst. It's up there, though.
It's up there.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Katniss arms her bow with 2 arrows, and Finnick readies his trident. In a calm voice, Katniss tells Peeta that she needs his help with something. Peeta is so concentrated on the tree and asks for the spile. She tells him that they found something and he needs to move to them quietly so he doesn't startle it. Peeta is alerted that something's off and tries his best to be quiet while slowly walking to the beach. When he is about 5 yards from the edge, his eyes look up and it's like a bomb of monkeys exploded on him. There are so many orange monkeys leaping everywhere. Their fangs are bared, hackles raised, and claws out. These aren't just monkeys, they're mutts. Katniss brings down monkey after monkey, but it wouldn't be enough without Finnick spearing them and flinging them aside, also with Peeta slashing at them with his knife. There is one on the back of her leg for only a second before someone takes it out. The 3 of them position themselves in a triangle with their backs to each other. Katniss's stomach drops when she grabs her last arrow and then shouts for Peeta to give her his arrows. Peeta turns to slide the sheath off when a monkey lunges from a tree to his chest. Katniss has no way to shoot him, and Finnick is already occupied, so she throws her knife to the oncoming mutt, but the mutt is able to somersault around it. Then she runs for Peeta and hopes to knock him to the ground and protect him with her body, but she knows she won't make it in time. Quote, she does, though. Materializing, it seems, from thin air. One moment, nowhere. The next, reeling in front of Peeta. Already bloody, his mouth open in a high-pitched scream. Pupils enlarged so her eyes seem like black holes. Then Sane Morphling from District 6 throws up her skeletal arms as if to embrace the monkey, and it sinks its fangs into her chest.
How does that make sense?
It doesn't. Not to Katniss, at least. Not
It
right
wouldn't to
now.
me either.
No.
I would be
Or
so
Peeta.
confused.
Yeah.
I don't even think Peeta's thinking a thing about it. He's like, wow, this is crazy. All these people. Or maybe he's not even seeing it as that.
I don't know. It's these, looking from their perspective, these games are so bizarre.
Yeah.
Like, Finnick in the beginning of the games was like, Megs is my non-negotiable. She's coming with us.
Mm-hmm.
And then Megs just walks into the fog.
And he said, I'm sorry, Max, I can't. And she
Yeah.
automatically knew she was the one
Yeah.
that wasn't going to make it.
Yeah. I just had a thought. If somehow she made it through the fog, and it was the four of them, the monkeys, she probably wouldn't have made it through the monkeys.
Yeah.
At least the fog was quick.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be worse ways to go.
Yeah. I think I would rather go quickly by some sort of nerve gas
Yeah.
than a monkey
I think
stabbing me with its teeth.
I mean, sounds like she basically had a seizure.
Yeah.
And then, but seizures don't really kill you most of the time.
Not most of the time.
Yeah. My assumption is she was seizing and then she also had like a paralytic, so she stopped breathing.
Yeah.
Which honestly wouldn't be that fun of a way to go because your mind is still there. But it didn't take very long.
I mean, if it's a nerve thing, could it mess with your brain too?
It could, I think. I'm thinking of like the paralytic agents that you would give for.
Oh, yeah.
And like you're still awake unless they give you something for sedation.
Yeah, which
that
is
would suck.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about like the stroke symptoms that PETA was exhibiting.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I've seen some hemorrhagic strokes, and it's so like very clear to me that they understand you, but they're like trapped in their body, which is terrifying.
Yeah.
But in the ischemic strokes or the clot strokes, it's more like, and this is just from what I've seen personally, they don't seem to be as with it as if it's a hemorrhagic stroke.
Yeah. I have heard of people like providers watching people with an ischemic stroke saying that they can tell that the person is trying to say the correct things, but they like it's just not coming out right, and then they get really frustrated. But they don't like they know it's not sounding right, but they just don't know why because their mind sounds right.
I've seen both. Where I remember I had this one older lady who was having a stroke who had a whole conversation with me, which she thought that we were having a
Okay, sure.
Hi, Bear. She thought that we were having a full-blown conversation going back and forth. Couldn't tell you what she was trying to say.
Yeah.
Could not tell you. But it made sense to her.
Yeah. I was on one of my very first rotations as a pharmacy student, and I was going to do a med rec, which is basically just a med history on a patient.
Yeah.
And I walk in the room. I did not read why this lady was in the hospital. Surprise, she was there for stroke. I start asking her questions, and then she's answering me, and she starts speaking, and she's like, looks so confused, and I cannot understand anything that she's saying. It's actual words,
Yeah.
but just like word salad.
Yep.
None of it made sense.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, I think that's all the questions I have. I'll
That's all I
go.
have for
Thank
you.
you.
That's all I have. Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.
And I'm sure I fumbled saying that because I was so confused. Ruby, I wish you could sit up here like that.
I don't even think that you're on camera, buddy, but that's okay. Bear has wedged himself between my hip, leg, and the chair.
Maybe they could see the tail.
Yeah, you guys can probably see the tail. But yeah, nerve gas or monkeys. Let us know which way you would rather go.
And if you say monkeys, first of all, I won't see it because I don't see the comments, but I will be judging you because that is crazy.
Don't worry, guys. I will let Haley know how many of you guys say monkeys.
And the reasoning why. I'd love to know why if you're choosing
Yeah.
the monkeys.
Yeah. I love to know either way.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. Mine just I don't feel like getting monkey teeth sunk into me.
That's not the way I would like to go.
That seems a little slower. I'll go with the faster one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's my only reasoning. That's all I got.
I just really hate monkeys. I have no interest in that.
No. 22.
Yes.
All right. Chapter 22. PETA stops and stabs the monkey until it releases its jaw and then kicks it away. Katniss grabs the arrows now, and PETA shouts for them to come on. But the monkeys are withdrawing and going back into the jungle as if called away. Katniss tells PETA, go grab her, they'll cover him. PETA gently carries the morphling to the beach, where she and Finnick keep their weapons ready, but the monkeys are gone. PETA lays her on the sand. She has 4 deep puncture wounds with blood trickling out of them, but where the puncture is located and how she's responding, the mutt probably hit a lung or even her heart. Which, again, this is a pretty
slow way to go.
Yeah. Would not be how I would choose.
No.
She is gasping, and there's nothing they can do except stay with her while she dies. Finnick tells them he will go watch the trees. Katniss wants to walk away too, but the Morphling has gripped her hand so tightly that she doesn't have the strength for that cruelty. She thinks of Rue. Maybe she could sing something, but she doesn't know her name or even if she likes songs. PETA crouches down to her on the other side, strokes her hair, and starts talking about his paints back home and mixing colors together. The woman stares into PETA's eyes and hangs on to every word he says. PETA continues to tell her about not being able to figure out rainbows just yet, since they come so quickly and fade back into the air. She seems mesmerized and then lifts her trembling hand and paints something, perhaps a flower, on PETA's cheek. He thanks her and tells her it's beautiful. Her face lights up for a moment. She gives a grin and then her hand falls down. She gives one last breath and then the cannon fires. PETA carries her to the water and then he returns to Katniss. A hovercraft appears shortly later and grabs her. Finnick rejoins them, but this hand's full of her still wet arrows and drops them next to her. She thanks him and goes into the water to wash off her weapons. They all stare at the jungle. They have no idea where the mutts went, and they decided to try again for water. PETA is successful, and they all take turns drinking and then pouring water over their itchy bodies. They then take shells, fill them, and bring them back to the beach. It's still night, and Katniss offers to take watch while they sleep. Finnick tells her that he would rather, and she can see that he's barely holding back tears. She can give him this private moment to mourn Megs.
Aw.
Katniss thanks him and lies on the sand with Peeta, who is already asleep. She stares into the night and thinks about how yesterday morning Finnick was on her kill list, and now she is willing to let him take watch while she sleeps. He saved Peeta over Megs. She can never not owe him. Katniss wakes mid-morning, and Finnick has put in a lot of work. There is a grass mat suspended above her and Peeta to shield them from the sun, 2 tightly woven baskets full of water, and the third has shellfish. Finnick tells her that they're better fresh.
He's been a busy little bee overnight.
I mean, yeah, it's got to keep busy,
Yeah.
I guess. Good job, Finnick. When Katniss reaches for some food, she sees the dried blood on her fingers. She has been scratching in her sleep. So she goes to wash off the blood and then turns her head up and says, quote, "Hey, Haymitch, if you're not too drunk, we could use a little something for our skin," end quote. The parachute appears so fast and is a tube of a thick, dark ointment that is turning her skin to a gray green. She tosses it to Finnick, who tells her it looks like she's decomposing, but he gives in and starts to treat his skin too. We have a book quote for you guys. "Poor Finnick, is this the first time in your life you haven't looked pretty?" I say. "It must be. The sensation's completely new. How have you managed it all these years?" he asks. "Just avoid mirrors. You'll forget about it," I say. "Not if I keep looking at you," he says. We slather ourselves down, even taking turns rubbing the ointment into each other's backs where the undershirt doesn't protect our skin. "I'm going to wake Peeta," I say. "No, wait," says Finnick. "Let's do it together. Put our faces right in front of his." Well, there's so little opportunity for fun left in my life, I agree. We position ourselves on either side of Peeta, lean over until our faces are inches from his nose, and give him a shake. "Peeta, Peeta, wake up," I say in a soft sing-song voice. His eyes flutter open, and then he jumps like we've stabbed him. Ah! Finnick and I fall back in the sand, laughing our heads off. Every time we try to stop, we look at Peeta's attempt to maintain a disdainful expression, and it sets us off again. By the time we pull ourselves together, I'm thinking that maybe Finnick O'Dare is all right. At least not as vain or self-important as I thought. Not so bad at all, really. And just as I've come to this conclusion, a parachute lands next to us with a fresh loaf of bread. Remembering from last year how Haymitch's gifts are often timed to send a message, I make a note to myself. Be friends with Finnick. You'll get food. Finnick turns the bread over in his hands, examining the crust, a bit too possessively. It's not necessary. It's got that green tint from seaweed that the bread from District 4 always has. We all know that it's his. Maybe he's just realized how precious it is and that he may never see another loaf again. Maybe some memory of Meg's is associated with the crust, but all he says is, "This will go well with the shellfish." I love that, that little tiny bit. They're in this horrific situation, and we just have this tiny little bit of joy and normalcy in the games.
Yeah. Honestly, a lot more joking around than she would do in her normal day today.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
She made a real friend.
I also was so confused by why he was examining the bread. And I feel like I'm missing something, but I just don't know. But my thought is that he's examining it because he thinks there's like a message in there from whoever sent it, but I don't know. So TBD on that.
And for those just randomly popping in on this episode, Haley has not finished she hasn't finished the book yet. You probably read the first two when you were little.
Yeah, I read the first two when I was in like middle school. So a long time ago now. I have not ever read the third book. I've definitely seen the first two movies, but it's been a while and have not seen Mockingjay. So everything after this book is a surprise. And honestly, a lot of things in this book were also a surprise.
Yeah, from what we've gathered thus far, there's a lot that you don't remember, which is totally fair. I'm not going to remember every single detail from a book that I read one time.
Honestly, the fact that I remember these people's names is
pretty
crazy.
impressive.
Yeah. And I wouldn't if it weren't for the movies.
Yeah. So it's interesting. And also the movies don't use the bread. So
yeah,
that is one thing that you probably wouldn't remember because it is a smaller detail. Katniss helps Peeta with the ointment as Finnick prepares the shellfish, and then they gather to eat. There are 13 tributes still alive, which means 10 are somewhere in the jungle. She knows that they will eventually have to go back into the forest, but for now she will stay on the beach. Another wedge across from them starts to vibrate, and a huge wave toppled trees down and hits the sea hard enough that the surf comes over to them. They manage to grab their things before it's taken away. A cannon fires, and a hovercraft appears to pluck a body from the trees where the wave began. They get their things back on the sand when 3 bodies emerge on the beach. They all fall back into the jungle. This trio is coming out in rough shape. One is being drugged, the other seems deranged, and they are all covered in red. Katniss draws an arrow, but then Finnick's face lights up as he calls and runs toward Joanna.
My favorite. I love her. Crazy girl.
Oh, Joanna calls back, and Peeta tells Katniss that they can't really leave Finnick, so they follow him.
I'm actually surprised that she agreed to follow him because at this point in the games, there's not that many people left.
No.
So I'm kind of surprised that she wasn't like, no, we're getting out of here.
Yeah.
But I'm glad for obvious reasons. But
Katniss is grouchy because as far as allies go, she would never have Joanna on it. When they get closer, she sees who she's with and then gets confused. She's with Wyrus and Beetee. Peeta is also confused and has to hear how that happened. When they catch up, Joanna is telling Finnick that they thought that it was raining because of the lightning, but the rain turned out to be thick, hot blood.
that is gross.
Disgusting. I can't think about it too long. You couldn't see or speak, just staggered around trying to get out of it. And that's when Blight hit the force field. Blight was the male tribute from 7, but Katniss hardly remembered seeing him. Joanna tells them that he wasn't much, but he was from home, and now he left her with the 2 of them. Beetee is barely conscious. Apparently, he took a knife in the back at the cornucopia, and then Joanna says that Nuts is in shock. Wyrus is circling and muttering tick-tock over and over and over. Joanna shoves Wyrus when she bumps into her, and Katniss snaps at Joanna. Joanna narrows her eyes, steps towards Katniss, and slaps her hard. She goes off on her. Quote, "Who do you think got them out of that bleeding jungle for you?" You. Finnick tosses her writhing body over his shoulders and carries her out into the water and repeatedly dunks her while she screams a lot of really insulting things at me. But I don't shoot because she's with Finnick and because of what she said about getting them out for me. End quote. She asks PETA what he thinks, and he tells her that he isn't sure. She did originally want them as allies, though. She did, but that still doesn't make any sense. PETA.
Yes, my favorite character, Petey.
Uh-oh.
How many more chapters do we have? Just one.
Okay, good. This one and because we're doing 23, right?
Yes, we are doing 23.
Okay. We're almost there.
Oh, good.
Oh, gosh. PETA lifts Beatty, and Katniss grabs Wyrus's hand and leads them to their beach camp. Katniss brings Wyrus to the shallow water to get her washed off. Wyrus sits and clutches Katniss's hand as she helps wash her, and she occasionally mumbles TikTok. Katniss then turns to Beatty and tries to get him clean next with PETA's help. His clothes are so bad that they have to fully strip him naked, but this doesn't bother Katniss much anymore. She's gotten used to it. They put down the mat Finnick made and laid Beatty on his stomach to look at his back. There is about a 6-inch gash from his shoulder blade to past his ribs. Luckily, it isn't too deep, but he has lost a lot of blood, and the wound is still active. Katniss sits trying to think of what is best to do here, and then remembers the moss that Megs had given to her. She runs and grabs some and brings it back. She makes a pad out of it and secures it with vines tied around his body. They get some water in him, and then they drag him to the shade. PETA tells her she is good with the healing stuff. It must be in her blood. Katniss denies it, though, and goes to check back on Wyrus. She uses some leftover moss as a sponge and works on getting the rest of the blood off. She doesn't resist, but her eyes are dilated in fear, and when Katniss says something, Wyrus responds more urgently, saying TikTok. She's trying to tell her something, but she isn't sure what, so she just says it back to her, which calms her a bit, and then continues to wash. Finnick and Joanna eventually join them again. Joanna is drinking and eating, and Katniss does her best to get something into Wyrus as well. Everyone offers to keep watch while everyone else rests, but it ends up being Katniss and Joanna since Katniss is rested and Joanna refuses to lie down. Once they're all asleep, she asks about Megs, and Katniss tells her what happened, and Joanna points out that she was Finnick's mentor and was half his family. Katniss then asks what she's doing with nuts and bolts. She tells her, for her, Haymitch told her that she had to bring them to her in order for them to be allies, and then asks if that's what she told Haymitch. Katniss wants to respond no, but just nods and says thanks, she appreciates it. Joanna hopes so, and Katniss wonders, is this what it's like to have an older sister who hates you? Probably.
I mean, yeah, I didn't have that experience. Me and my sister are besties, but I would imagine that's how that would feel.
I had brothers. I didn't have sisters, but one of my best friends growing up had a younger sister, and this was definitely closer to their relationship. They're better now, but that was their
in like high school, middle school.
Definitely heavy on the middle school.
Yeah. Middle school girls are just terrifying.
Whew, yeah. They're a little scary.
Mm-hmm.
Then Wyrus is up, eyes focused on the jungle, and says TikTok. Joanna decides that the two of them can keep guard, and she's going to go sleep. Katniss brings Wyrus over to where she is, lies her down, and strokes her arm. She starts to drift off again, occasionally sighs TikTok. The sun rises in the sky and is now directly over them. Katniss thinks that it must be noon. although that doesn't matter. But then across the water, a lightning bolt hits the same tree and an electric storm begins. Katniss thinks that someone must have gotten too close and triggered it. But she remembers last night how there were 12 bongs. Wyrus wakes momentarily to say tick-tock before drifting off. 12 bongs like it was midnight, then lightning, now appeared to be noon and more lightning. She slowly stands and looks in the next pie wedge where Joanna, Wyrus, and Beatty came from. She thinks of the monkeys and the fog. Wyrus says tick-tock in her sleep, and suddenly she understands. Quote, tick-tock. My eyes sweep around the full circle of the arena, and I know she's right. Tick-tock. This is a clock. End of chapter 22.
Thank God for Wyrus.
She is so smart. Definitely in shock, but
Yeah.
very smart.
She is struggling, but the only one that figured that out, I mean, I guess Katniss interpreted, but I don't know that she would have put two and two together if it hadn't been for Wyrus.
I'm not giving Katniss credit for that.
She did have a nice hint.
She did have a really good hint. And Wyrus was just so insistent. Like, she never let it. Even in her sleep, she's mumbling tick-tock.
Last chapter.
Last chapter. Are you ready?
I am so ready.
Okay. Chapter 23. It's like Katniss can see the hands ticking around each section now. Each hour begins a new horror. The first 4 hours are lightning, blood rain, fog, monkeys. At 10, the wave comes. Katniss isn't sure what the rest are, but she knows that Wyrus is right. The blood rain must be falling now, and they're on the beach under the monkey segment, but too close to the fog for her liking. So she goes over to wake Peeta, Finnick, and Joanna and gets them to move, and as she does, she tells them about the clock theory. Everyone seems convinced aside from Joanna, but she even agrees that she'd rather be safe than sorry. While they're grabbing their things, Katniss wakes Wyrus and she panics and says, tick-tock. Katniss tells her, yes, she was right. The arena is a clock. And she is relieved, probably because someone finally understands, and then says midnight. Katniss confirms that it starts at midnight. And this reminds her of Plutarch's watch and the Mockingjay. It's as if he was giving her a clue. But why would he do that?
Yeah, why would he do that? That's crazy.
So crazy. Maybe he knew she'd be a mentor, or maybe because he had planned this whole thing. Wyrus points out the first 2 wedges, and Katniss confirms, and then gives her some water, and Finnick gives her the last bit of bread to eat. Now that she's got her message, it's like she's able to function again. Peeta tries to lift Beatty, but he won't let him and asks for wire. Peeta insists that Wyrus is fine and is also coming, but that's not what he's asking for. Joanna realizes what he's actually asking for and then picks up the wire cylinder that was on his belt that is covered in thick blood. That's how he got hurt. He ran to the cornucopia for this, but doesn't know what he's going to use it for unless he makes a garret. But like a
Like
you know what a garret is, right?
like it to like slit their throat or like
It's
strangle.
like it's usually like to strangle people.
I take
it's
it you
usually
know this
like a-
from your true crime portion of the podcast.
The John Bonet Ramsey case.
I don't know much
'Cause she had
about
a
her.
garret. It is still unsolved.
Wow.
But there was a documentary that came out, a 3-part documentary that blew me out of the water because a lot of people in the episode that we did, they're like, there's so much more. There's so much more. And I was like, I thought that I did a great job. And then all of a sudden there's like a whole nother,
Oh, wow.
there's a lot to that case.
That's crazy. They were like on vacation. or something. I don't know. Anyways.
It's there will definitely be a part 2 to that one eventually.
Okay.
Where we kind of redo that case.
Okay.
So if you want in on that brutal case.
I feel like her name gets brought up very often and I never know what they're talking about. So that could be very educational.
Yeah. It's a sad one. It's a little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she had a garret around her neck. It was two like a wire and then two like paintbrush ends so they could use to strangle. So that's what that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was actually picturing more like a decapitation thing, so it's better than what I was picturing.
Well, I mean, technically, it could turn into that.
Yeah.
Technically. Especially using a wire like this.
That's like as fine as hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which definitely not what they used in the movie.
No, it was like copper wire.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean that in my mind, that this wire, the book wire, could do that.
I would think that would be the only way because it doesn't seem like thick enough to just strangle. I think it would cut through.
Just
I don't know.
Game of
like
Thrones
the thought
style.
of it. Just yeah.
Just
cut it
also,
right
there's
off.
a head rolling.
Yeah.
PETA points out that Beatty won his games using a wire, so that is the best weapon that he could have. Katniss sees this as suspicious. Shouldn't Joanna have figured it out since she nicknamed him Volts? Another book quote. Joanna's eyes narrowed at me dangerously. Yeah, that was really stupid of me, wasn't it? She says. I guess I must have been distracted by keeping your little friends alive while you were, what again? Getting Mags killed off? My fingers tighten on the knife handle at my belt. Go ahead, try it. I don't care if you're knocked up. I'll rip your throat out, says Joanna. I know I can't kill her right now, but it's just a matter of time with Joanna and me before one of us offs the other. Maybe we all had better be careful where we step, says Finnick, shooting me a look. He takes the coil and sets it on Beatty's chest. There's your wire, Volts. Watch where you plug it. End quote.
I love Joanna.
She's
a feisty gal.
She's very feisty. You don't want to be on her bad side. She's scary.
She just told her she'd rip her throat out, and I believe that about her.
I don't care if you're pregnant. I will mess you up. PETA picks up Beatty, and Finnick says that he wants to go to the cornucopia to watch and see if the clock theory is right. They all agree. Katniss wouldn't mind looking at the weapons again. Even without counting Beatty or Wyrus, they have 4 good fighters, which is so different from last year. She assumes that Beatty and Wyrus will eventually find a way to die on their own, like if they had to flee from someone or from something. She could easily kill Joanna if it came to protecting PETA, but she doesn't think that she could take Finnick out, not after all he's done. She doesn't want to think on this anymore, though, then fantasizes about killing President Snow. Quote, not very pretty daydreams for a 17-year-old girl, I guess, but very satisfying. End quote.
That was a nice reminder. She is 17. When I read that, I was like, oh yeah, I forget that. Easy to forget.
It is so easy to forget. Mm-hmm. Especially because, I mean, everyone else around them they're not.
Yeah.
They're not teenagers.
Yeah.
They're the only teenagers in this whole arena.
Mm-hmm. And she's pregnant.
Mm-hmm. We do need that reminder every now and then.
Yeah.
To just re-ground ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They make their way to the cornucopia, and Beatty asks Wyrus to clean his coil of wire. She nods and then brings it to the water, dunking it and quietly singing about a mouse running up a clock. Katniss assumes it's a children's song. It seems to make her happy, though. Joanna recognizes the song. Apparently, she sang it for hours before she started saying TikTok. Wyra suddenly stands straight up and points to 2. They all look at the wedge and can see the fog trickling into the sand. Peeta tells her that she's very smart to have figured that out. Beatty tells them that she's also intuitive, like one of their canaries from the coal mines. She can sense things before anyone else can. Finnick asks what Beatty is talking about, and Katniss explains that they bring a bird down in the mines with them. If the air is bad, it will stop singing, and if it's too bad, it will die, along with you. She is then reminded of her father's death, Rue's, Maisie Donner's, and then her mother getting her songbird, and no one thinking of Gale and President Snow's threats. It would be so easy for him to make it look like an accident while Gale was in the mines. She then goes back to imagining killing the president. Even though Joanna is annoyed at Wyrus, she is as happy as Katniss has ever seen. Katniss adds arrows to her stockpile, and Joanna grabs a pair of axes, which seems an odd choice until she remembers that Joanna is from District 7, Lumber. She has probably tossed them around like Finnick does his trident, or Beatty with wire, or Rue with her plant knowledge. Seeing this, Katniss realizes how much of a disadvantage the tributes from 12 have had each year. They don't go into the mines until 18, and most other districts learn something about their trade very early on. Things like using a pick or blowing things up could give someone an edge in the arena, but they all learn too late. Peeta is squatting on the ground, drawing something with a knife on a large leaf that he brought with him from the jungle. He's making a map of the arena. The tail of the cornucopia points to 12, so it's the top of the clock. He numbers each wedge, and in 1 writes lightning, then adds blood, fog, monkeys. Katniss tells him that 10 is the wave, and he adds it. No one has seen the other wedges, so they aren't able to fill that in, but this is much more than they knew this morning. Quote, "We all nod in agreement, and that's when I notice it. The silence. Our canary has stopped singing." Katniss doesn't hesitate. She loads an arrow and sees Gloss dropping wires. He had slit her throat.
I had to read that twice. I did not realize that she died there. I totally forgot she died.
Yeah.
I did not like it.
Wires is gone. She shot him in the right temple, and Joanna buried an axe into Cashmere's chest. Finnick knocks a spear that Brutus threw at Peeta and ends up getting a knife to the thigh from Anabaria. They duck behind the cornucopia before Katniss can shoot either of them. There are 3 cannon fires, and they head off to chase after Brutus and Anabaria. But then the ground jerks from under them, and she is flung in the sand. The circle where the cornucopia sits is now spinning fast. The force is pulling her to the water, but she does her best to close her eyes and digs her hands and feet into the sand. They slam to a stop. Finnick, Joanna, and Peeta have all hung on, and the 3 dead bodies are now out in the seawater. Joanna asks where Volts is. He is out in the water, barely afloat, and Finnick goes after him. Then Katniss remembers about the wire. It's still in Wyrus's hand, who is now in the water. She tosses her weapons aside and tells the others to cover her. She dives into the water and starts for Wyrus as fast as she can since the hovercraft has already appeared. Quote, "She is floating on her back, borne up by her belt and death, staring into that relentless sun." End quote. Katniss gets the coil from her hands, closes her eyes, and says goodbye and swims away back to the sand. By the time she is back, Finnick and Beatty are both back and alive. Luckily, Beatty was smart enough to hang on to his glasses so he can still see. Katniss puts the wire on his lap. It's sparkling clean now. He unravels some of it. It's not like anything she had seen before. It's a pale gold and as thin as a piece of hair. It's so thin that there must be miles of it, but she doesn't ask since he must be thinking of Wyrus. Katniss looks to the others. All of them, aside from her, have all lost their district partners. She goes over to Peeta and wraps her arms around him while they all stay silent. Eventually, Joanna says that she should get off the stinking island. They grab what weapons they still have. Finnick takes off his undershirt to tie around the wound Anabaria made in his thigh. Luckily, it's not deep. They help Beatty up since he now thinks that he can walk. They decide to head out at 12. Everyone starts heading off in a different direction. No one knows which direction is what since the spin. Beatty points out that they might all have a general idea of what direction to go in, but they could have also shifted the jungle, which means that they really might not know anything anymore. Katniss looks for the tall tree that strikes at 12, but there's a similar tree in every sector and says she never should have mentioned that she knew that it was a clock. But Beatty reminds them that it's temporary. Once the wave comes at 10, they will be back on track. Joanna points out that it doesn't matter, she told them. They had to move camp anyway, and then says that she needs water and asks if anyone has a good feeling on where they should go. They randomly chose a path with no idea where they are headed. Petey go.
I do love Beatty.
Why is that a thing now?
I don't know.
Beatty's name is not even next to it this time. There was no reason for it.
He just has a new nickname.
Please don't let that be a thing for the rest of the series.
Oh. He stays.
Huh?
Does he get to stay? He lives? I don't know. But I think he does.
Peeta? Beatty?
No. Beatty.
I don't know.
Well, I'll find out soon.
Even if they don't make it, they're going to talk about him, just like Rue.
That's true. True.
So that wasn't a spoiler.
Lives. I hope that he lives.
That was not a spoiler. Peeta. Peeta goes to tap a tree, but Finnick stops him and says it's his turn. Peeta then offers to watch his back, but Joanna hands him a new leaf and tells him that Katniss can, and they need him to make a new map since the other one is washed away. Katniss is momentarily suspicious that they are trying to divide them to kill them, but that also doesn't make sense since both her and Peeta have an advantage over the others. So she follows Finnick as he starts to stab the tree with his knife. She stands there with weapons ready, but still has a bad feeling like something's going on, and it has to do with Peeta. She thinks about what happened since the start of the games. Finnick towed Peeta off his plate. He revived Peeta. Megs ran into the fog so Finnick could carry Peeta. The Morphling blocked the monkey's attack on Peeta, and during their fight with the careers, Finnick even blocked Brutus's spear that would have hit Peeta and got a knife to the leg instead. And now Joanna has him drawing a map instead of him being in the jungle. Last quote, guys. There is no question about it. For reasons completely unfathomable to me, some of the other victors are trying to keep him alive, even if it means sacrificing themselves. I'm dumbfounded. For one thing, that's my job. For another, it doesn't make sense. Only one of us can get out, so why have they chosen Peeta to protect? What has Haymitch possibly said to them? What has he bargained with to make them put Peeta's life above their own? I know my own reasons for keeping Peeta alive. He's my friend, and this is my way to defy the Capitol, to subvert its terrible games. But if I had no real ties to him, What would make me want to save him, to choose him over myself? Certainly he's brave, but we have all been brave enough to survive the games. There is a quality of goodness that's hard to overlook, but still. And then I think of it. What PETA can do so much better than the rest of us. He can use his words. He obliterated the rest of the field at both interviews. And maybe it's because of that underlying goodness that he can move a crowd, no, a country, to his side with the turn of a simple sentence. I remember thinking that was the gift the leader of our revolution should have. Has Hamish convinced the others of this? That PETA's tongue would have far greater power against the capital than any physical strength the rest of us could claim. I don't know. It still seems like a really long leap for some of the other tributes. I mean, we're talking about Joanna Mason here. But what other explanation can there be for their decided efforts to keep him alive? Katniss, got that spile? Finnick asks, snapping me back to reality. I cut the vine that ties the spile to my belt and hold the metal tube out to him. That's when I hear the scream, so full of fear and pain it ices my blood, and so familiar. I drop the spile, forget where I am or what lies ahead, only know I must reach her, protect her. I run wildly in the direction of the voice, heedless of danger, ripping through the vines and branches, through anything that keeps me from reaching her, from reaching my little sister.
Whenever I read this today, I read this earlier before we recorded this, I had a very distinct memory of getting to that line the first time I read this book.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh my God, Prim is in the games. How did they capture her? Why is she there? And then I was thinking in Harry Potter in the Triwizard Tournament when they're like underwater and everyone has to like save someone.
Yeah.
And so that's where my brain went the first time.
This is her test.
Yes.
She has to go find Prim and save her. Not quite.
No, thankfully she's not actually there.
Yeah, that is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
What a cliffhanger.
I know.
What a cliffhanger to end on. And there are only 4 chapters left.
Yeah, we're close to the end.
Guys, it is so close. So much happened in the 5 chapters that we covered, though.
Yes.
We entered the games. We lost Megs, almost lost PETA.
Mm-hmm.
We lost Wyrus. We now have allies, a bunch of allies.
A bunch of allies.
That Katniss wants nothing to do with them.
Mm-hmm.
But people just keep sacrificing themselves for PETA over and over.
Yeah. And there was one part where Katniss was talking about them separating PETA and Katniss.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly don't know how the book ends. I have a vague idea of what happens, but I don't know the details. And so in my mind, I'm thinking of security of at least one of them making it out to like keep them like president, vice president. They don't go places together.
That makes sense.
To keep one of them alive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't exactly know why. I mean, I know they're like a symbol of the revolution. They are the most important people.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's why. But
yeah. But you don't know, like, after that.
I don't know. Yeah.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so excited for the next episode to finish Catching Fire.
And then it's movie time.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And this movie, guys,
it's just so good.
So good. This book, so good. Movie, so good.
Mm-hmm. And also they said they called it a jungle multiple times.
They did call it a jungle.
So at least Suzanne Collins thought that this was a jungle.
I don't know what else to call it other than a jungle.
I think it must be. There's a monkey there. It's sort of tropical. There's a beach. It feels like a jungle to me.
Yeah, but apparently a jungle is a made-up thing.
Yeah.
It's not real.
Yeah. Up to interpretation, I guess.
I guess. I will call it a jungle because I can't call it a rainforest because it's not like it's
A blood rainforest in one small section.
It is a blood rainforest for 1 hour.
Yes.
Well, technically 2 of the day.
That's
2 hours
true.
of the day.
Yeah. And I
Yikes.
don't know exactly what it starts at midnight means from.
It starts at midnight.
Yeah. I can't figure out what starts at midnight. I know there's a significance there, but I just can't remember what it is.
It's
Is
so
he just trying to tell her about the arena or more than that? Don't answer, but that's
we can talk about it later.
Yeah.
All I was going to say is all we know at this point is that Katniss has linked it starts at midnight to Plutarch's it starts at midnight.
Right.
The meeting starts at midnight.
The meeting.
His midnight meeting.
Right. One would assume a midnight meeting with Haymitch or that's what
or
I'm
the
guessing.
other game makers.
I guess. But
because they're the capital and they do whatever they want.
That is true. But Beatty had wires in there that was at the cornucopia. She had arrows, which they usually will give them things to their strength to make for interesting games. Mm-hmm. But the wires are just too specific. And he is holding on to them for dear life.
He is. But also, if you were thrown into a place where there's only one thing that you know for sure how to use, mm-hmm. one thing.
It's true.
That could potentially save your life.
It's true.
Be like, I know that I'm not a spear or like...
He's not a trident carrier.
No, he's not that kind of guy.
Yeah.
So, like, him being like, my wire is here. Mm-hmm. I gotta get that.
Yeah. I mean, it does make sense. Mm-hmm. He's up to something. Everyone is up to something. Everyone has an agenda.
They do. They all do. Mm-hmm. And we know Peeta's is to save Katniss.
Yeah, Peeta's is to keep Katniss alive.
Katniss is to keep Peeta alive. And all we know thus far seems to be apparently everybody else's motive is to keep Peeta alive also.
I think that's to appease Katniss. They have to keep Peeta alive so that Katniss can get out, I feel like. Although I do think she had a good point that Peeta was would be a good leader. And so maybe they really are trying to protect Peeta. Maybe they've given up hope on Katniss.
I mean, definitely keep that in the back of your mind. That Katniss and a lot of other people see Peeta as being, the persuasive one, the one with all the words, very good with words, people love him. And it's so easy for him to do.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind as you go forward.
Oh boy.
And not just in this book.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait for next episode.
I am so excited because I keep wanting to say things and then I have to abruptly stop.
I can see it on your face and I'm like, just say it. But also I don't want it to be spoiled.
I can't say it because this is literally, usually you're like a chapter or two after where we end.
Yeah, no, this is hot off the press.
Yeah.
And I kind of like it that way.
So yeah. I mean, we can keep doing that.
Yeah. Well, the next one will be that way because there's not much left of this.
No. Unless you're like, I need to immediately start Mockingjay.
I gotta say, Mockingjay doesn't give me the same level of intrigue as Catching Fire.
It's because we go from the crazy arena, the cool crazy arena.
It is so cool.
To kind of a slower pace.
Yeah.
We go from super hype, lots of action, everything is happening. Mm-hmm. Like you're almost getting whiplash. Things are happening so fast.
Yeah. And
then you go to Mockingjay and everything just kind of slows down a little bit. But I will say on my reread that I did, because guys, I am, how far am I? I'm pretty dang far into the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes now. So I'm well beyond Mockingjay.
Mm-hmm.
But Mockingjay did surprise me on my reread. It
I
was
feel like
actually
you're
kind of
just telling
fun.
me this, so I want to read it.
No, I actually like once I got past the first couple chapters.
Okay.
I will say that. The first couple chapters, it's kind of like a new
Like relaying
information download. You have to learn what has happened and the lay of the land.
Okay. Good to know. That gives me hope.
But it does get better.
Okay.
It does get better. It does speed up.
Okay.
And if it was slow the whole way through, I would tell you it was slow the whole way through. It doesn't. Is it still probably my least favorite? Yeah, but also I do enjoy all of her books.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, I'm excited.
Yeah.
It'll be new information for me, so I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, we'll see how you feel. I wanted to see how it ended because I thought that I knew how it ended. It is how I thought it ended.
Maybe I should check.
No.
You can get a live reaction on the podcast.
Be like,
I do not remember that.
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah.
You don't have that much left, though.
I don't. Yeah, only,
It's
4 chapters?
I mean, it starts at 340, page 340.
No.
Well, not for you.
Mine starts at 410 and ends 472. So I only have 62 pages left. Yeah.
Which really isn't that much, especially
62 pages is like 30 pages
of that font.
Yeah. If you guys don't have a physical copy, I love this one. All 3 books of the main trilogy come in this one, and it's nice and floppy, and the words are huge, and the margins are very wide,
which is just beautiful.
Yeah, if you're a physical book reader, that's like gold.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's like how my Kindle is. Like I have the font way up, so it feels like I'm just cruising.
I'm really reading very slowly, but I like clicking it often.
Yeah, I am such a slow reader, but it is so nice to be like, ooh, I'm fast.
This makes me feel like I'm reading at the speed of light. It's great.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. It's fun. It's the little things, guys. But yeah, that's what we got for the first half of part 3. And next time we'll be doing the final 4.
Yeah.
And see how these games end.
Yes. I'm excited to see what perceptions I have are actually true.
To be honest, guys, I'm excited for the texts that I'm probably going to get.
Yeah. I'm imagining a lot of, oh my God, I do not remember that. Did that actually happen? Did that just happen? Did that really just happen? That's what I'm expecting.
Yeah, because there's a couple things that I'm like, I really don't think you remember this.
Probably
so
not.
I'm just...
Yeah. I think that's smart. Yeah, very wise.
I'm just waiting. And then me and Haley's husband know something of Mockingjay. He's like, I was reading until a point, and then I couldn't. I'm like, yeah. And Haley's over here like, what?
I don't know. Maybe it's Gail, but she's sad about it, so it's definitely not Gail.
Am I sad about it?
In that
or
instance.
Am I just, what?
In that one instance. Not to say he lives through the whole thing. That's to be seen, but...
Yeah, Haley has this theory that I was too excited when she was asking me if people that I don't like don't make it.
We'll see. I think she maybe left him alive.
And guys, I have been sharing with Haley that there's a lot of comments going on about how people are baffled that we are not hating on Gail enough.
One of us would love to hate on Gail a lot more. It's not me.
I'm trying to open my mind since Haley is not to that point yet, guys. So I'm trying to give a ton more grace than what I want to. I'm trying to be nice.
I think you're doing a very good job.
Oh, thank you.
And I am prepared to eat my words. I know something is coming where I'm gonna not like him,
Yeah.
but I just don't know what it is. And up to this point, I feel like his actions have kind of been justified by the situation he's in.
Most of them.
Sometimes he's just a dumb teenage boy, but
And then it also boils down to that, like, think back to when you were 18, 19. Did you make the best decisions? No, probably not. None of us did. Did we think that they were really good decisions?
yes.
Absolutely.
Did I think that I knew better than every other person in the world?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. That was dumb.
Yeah. And then everyone's like, you will look back on this one day and regret your decisions.
Like, you idiot.
Yeah.
No, I won't.
I will never.
Darn. If they weren't right.
Well. Yeah. So I mean, I'm trying to give a little more grace this time.
I am fully prepared to change my opinion on Gail. That hasn't happened yet, but I think Mockingjay is probably gonna do it.
Yeah, I will say most people, the Gale hate train doesn't start for most people that I've seen until they get to Mockingjay.
Okay. That makes me feel better. Because I just felt like I was missing something.
Not really. I mean, right now it's just the little things, like in the very beginning of.
He was annoying in this book.
He's very annoying in this book.
You're like, thank God I can finally say how I feel.
Yeah, my big thing is like Katniss has so much PTSD going on, and you're like, I have feelings for you, and you're not acknowledging my feelings. You're not thinking about me. And here she is, like, crippling trauma, just like,
yeah.
she can barely function, and here you are. But what about me?
Not everything, a lot of things he did in this book just wanted to make me say, like, Gail, like, can you just not, like, just go somewhere else, Gail?
Yep. So, guys, don't worry. I am on team hate Gale. Haley's not.
Yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
We will see. Maybe you won't be.
Maybe not. I don't know.
There are some people that apparently don't hate Gale. So, and I say apparently because some of the things that I see, I'm like, I feel like you're just rage baiting at that point. So, but we will see. Well, that was a fun 5 chapters.
Yes, very fun.
And we will see you guys next time for the last part of Catching Fire.
I cannot wait. I say that every time, but I am really excited for this one.
I'm so excited. So it'll be a lot of fun. We'll see you guys then. Bye.
Bye.